Okay. Well, the meeting to order at 9:16 on April 12th. Flag is up, so we can rise for this Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Okay, I'm going to table the approval of the meeting minutes. Sheila, thank you for those, but they came a little late, so I'll give everybody a chance, including myself, to read through them. So we will push that to next week for approval. So project updates. Sal's not here, so Mark, we're over to you.
Yep. Well, really, it's construction starting, and I'm probably going to steal some of Tim's thunder. And I'll just say it quickly, and then turn it over to Tim for the update. They mobilized to the site. They had a meeting on Wednesday, and they plan on going full bore demo and MEP tie up next week. And I'll turn it over to Tim on that.
Yep, that's it. No, yeah, we had a trade meeting on Wednesday just to go back over everything with all the trades and the custodial team. We walked all three schools, just basically geared up for, next week, made sure everyone knows exactly where they're going. The custodial team knows which rooms they're going to touch first. Just making sure that everything was, we've been talking about this a lot, making sure everyone was on the same page as we get to the starting line. So everyone is good to go. Principals all the classrooms have been cleaned out, as much as they can be at the moment. We walked that with the principals. So everything looks to be good, and we're geared up to start Monday morning, 7 a.m., the 15th. And we're hoping to, get a good push next week. So it's important that we stay focused on that. But otherwise, yes, we mobilized at Fairfield Woods this week, able to get our site office set up for the most part, for everything we need to start work next week. And then we'll be mobilizing to the other couple schools over the next week or two as they clean out some of the space that we need on site. But yes, we're ready to go for Monday, and we're excited to get going.
So Tim, just to clarify, so Fairfield Woods is Monday, but the others we're still looking to set up. So we're not going to start breaking ceilings for.
No. We'll be working at all three schools starting Monday, Jeff.
Okay.
We're just talking about our mobilization for our field offices. We haven't mobilized our small field office at Osborne and North Stratfield just due to logistics with cleaning out the space with the school.
Okay.
But yeah, no, we will have work going on all three schools next week.
Hey, Jeff, that's to the email that I sent this morning to you regarding the Connex boxes.
Yeah. Okay.
I know it's.
Okay. Any updates on Fitz House? There's nothing to report there, I assume.
Nope, they're still gearing up for the summertime on the swap.
Okay. All right, Amar, Tim, anything else on project updates?
No, other than I think the building department, Tim works. I saw the emails, I've seen the correspondence. Are they all set, the building department, by the end of next week to sign off on our occupancy? We have to get that set up for Friday next week before school comes back. So
so we're in talks with the building department. We have a couple inspections set up for next week. We're going to do Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday is kind of a first inspection as to like a benchmark as to what the classrooms need to look like after we are in there doing demo. And then we're going to work the rest of the week. And then Friday is going to be kind of getting the final blessing by Pat or Mike as to, the rooms being ready to go for the schools to come back into session on Monday, the 22nd. So we have those couple inspections set up. And that's essentially all we have for next week based on what we're doing scope wise.
You're all set, payment and all that stuff is
so payment.
Away.
Yeah. So payment, I spoke to Carolyn yesterday at the building department, and so did actually Mark Valentoni. We both got the same information. It's that they're expecting a payment today for this state education fee, which has kind of been holding our permits hostage at the moment. And we're expected to get that payment cleared today and our permits released so that we can move forward for the 15th. I've been told that there should be no issue with us moving forward on the 15th by Pat from the building department. So I'm going to follow up with Carolyn probably after this call and just see if she's received that check yet.
So Jeff, just for clarity, all the payments for building permits is by the town, not by Gilbane. We're just kind of helping the process. There was a hiccup as far as payment made by the town to the building department. So we just want to make sure that doesn't hold up the process, because I know Mark and Tim are on it, but I'm just making you aware, FYI.
Which department is it? Sal's team needs to pay?
No, it's not. It's really the town of Fairfield paying the building
I
department.
submitted the payments I sent up the payments for the
Excellent.
permits.
Thank you.
I initiated them.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay. So we're good to go. So hopefully next Friday we get signed off by the building department and everything will be put back together. Just, Jeff, as you are all aware, by the end of next week, which is the week after, the expectations, what you're going to see if you ever go out there, you're going to see basically rooms that we worked on over April break. Osborne, half of the building will have no ceilings, and we'll just have lights suspended from the deck. And the same thing with North Stratfield. We'll have portions or a certain number of rooms will have no ceilings as well. And same thing with Woods, just as far as expectations. In case you get a call from residents, parents, what's going on. Just we're trying to give you a heads up what's
I
going
appreciate that.
It's the same process we did with Holland Hill and Mill Hill. It's just you're not going to see the acoustical ceiling. You're just going to look up the ceiling in the rooms in the classrooms. You're going to see the exposed deck and the lights suspended from the deck.
So, Omar, do you recall? Were there any unexpected?
No,
What's the phrase when you use call outs or questions from parents or administrators or
No.
teachers or?
not that I'm aware of. Like I said, we've done it already on a couple of schools in the past. So this is not a new process to the building department or the Fairfield Public Schools. I am just kind of the principals obviously are aware. We did describe it to them as well, what the expectations are and what they're going to see as a byproduct of next week's activities.
And the
But we
principals
just want-
also sent out correspondence to all the parents and faculty, kind of just outlining what we discussed in our presentation. So a lot of the parents should have already received notification that this is going to be happening and this is the expectation.
Right.
So, again, you might have a couple people that forget or walk in and have other questions, but the general population of parents should have an understanding of what's going to be, what it'll look like.
Thank you, Tim. That's exactly what just going through my mind was what was the parent notification look like?
Yes,
So,
again, we just want to make sure you're aware as well, so you're not blindsided or.
I appreciate that, Mark. Always do. I had a similar conversation with Mark earlier in the week to make sure I understood what was because this is when it gets real, right? And this is when people start to
Right.
start to see things. So
Yep.
Sorry, Mark, I cut you off. Did you have a comment?
Yeah, no problem. I was just going to say the project team met with the principals back in February, I want to say, and then with Gilbane and the team met with the principals in March. So as a follow up to it, and then the principals sent out their notices to the parents saying this is happening.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. Joe, any questions on your side?
No, nothing's jumping out at me. No.
Okay. All right. Moving on then. Exciting times. Phase 2 through 5.
The update for 2 through 5 is we met with BL, Gilbane, and Fairfield Public Schools on phase 2 through 5. Go through the schedule and then trying to coordinate get the existing drawings to the design team and to Gilbane and set up some site visits to confirm what is actually out there to what is on the plans. So we're looking, I believe the week of the 29th, 29th, get out there on the site to
Yes.
look at the schools.
That's correct. Mark, are you going to publish a revised schedule based on our
Yes.
conversations? Thank you.
Yes.
So how would that look? We're gonna hit all the schools on the 29th? So do you guys just sort of drive from school to school?
Generally speaking, we might do 2 schools. What we did on the 29th, we're going to meet with the design team and obviously Sal and Mark to kind of go over the progress that Jesse and his team is doing from between now and then. We set up 2 sessions that week to visit the schools, the 4 schools. So I think it was a Wednesday and a Thursday, or Tuesday and a Thursday. We've already penciled in a couple of meetings in the afternoon after school to walk the project with the design team and kind of us to look into a lot of variables in terms of constructability, any questions, just more of a call it to review existing conditions and how we're what the approach is to the projects. So it may end up being multiple visits depending on what we see. Right now it's premature, but we've set up 2 meetings to field visit all 4 schools.
Is the hazmat part of that walkthrough as well?
We didn't get, well, again, it's hazmat is a it's a separate animal. Depends on the scope of the work, whether we're going to be disturbing any asbestos containing materials. It's kind of, when we meet on the 29th, that's one of the topics we're going to discuss with the design team, and then we're not doing, obviously this is all design. There's no construction whatsoever with this phase at this moment in time. So once the design is all figured out, then we'll engage the environmentalist and have them look at that and see what kind of material has any potential ACM that's going to be disturbed.
Okay, so it's not done. It's not done at the same time. You figure out your initial planning.
Yes.
Comes in and takes a look at what's being proposed, and if they identify anything, then we address it as either a workaround or remediation.
Correct. Yeah. Right now we're just design phase, no construction on those phase 2 through 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. All right. Anything else on 2 through 5, Mark?
Nope, that is all.
Okay. From an approval perspective, I don't believe there's any proposals to approve this morning. Well, we can talk
No
about.
proposals and no invoices.
Okay.
I had one, and I believe I just got one yesterday too. So we'll carry those till next week.
Something to look forward to. Good.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to new business, I think it's probably belonged in project updates, but Amar, did you and Sal get a chance to talk through glass and the approach?
Yeah, so I spoke to Mark briefly this morning. As a matter of fact, right after this meeting, we're going to have a follow-up meeting with Mark and Sal to kind of devise a plan. I mean, like I said, it's not a huge rush on this thing, but we're going to talk right after this meeting and come up with a plan as to how we're going to approach the glass package. It sounds like we might end up doing it directly with us, but we're not sure. We're going to have a conversation about right after this meeting.
Okay. And then the recommendation.
It's not holding anything up.
Yep. Okay. It's just something
Yeah,
we've been talking about is do we go with the state contractors or do we go out to bid?
That's what we're going to make the decision this morning. You got no problem.
All right. I was going to ask Sal about the commissioning agent and meetings, but he's not here, so I'll defer that. And so Connex box.
Yep. Connex boxes. This is for there are two storage rooms one storage room in Osborne Hill and one in North Stratfield that Gilbane wants to use as a temporary field office that the custodians for the schools have to clear out. This is a project. Well, we need to provide a temporary office space at each school for Gilbane. This is the cheaper expensive, I should say, not cheaper, but is to give them a space inside the building. That way, we don't have to rent a office trailer, and we don't have to run electrical or any of the services to it. They can just use what's in the storage in the existing building itself. But that means clearing out the storage rooms. Now, there's two ways to go about this. We can rent a trailer from Myers, and it's $300 a month for, I figured, 17 months, which is $5,100. Or we could buy a Connex box outright that we can use at the other schools for $5,380. So $280 more. We've got use of it for the next 5 years, or till the Connex box falls apart. And if we go 18 months, it's cost. You know, if we rent for 18 months, it would be the cost of the Connex box.
Okay, so what? Okay,
And,
so not some of the numbers, but was the work trailers a budgeted item?
No, it was not. Because it's cheaper to go for the town to contract directly with Myers or Eagle or whatever, and buy them outright or rent them, than for Gilbane to rent them at the same price and mark it up.
Okay, well, that would explain why it might not be. So that would explain why it wouldn't be in Gilbane's budget, because they deferred to the town to acquire it, but it should have been in the
Correct.
overall budget as a purchase, right? This isn't a just
mean,
applies. This isn't unique to these schools. That's
Well, correct. I mean, we have temporary facilities in the budget. We've got miscellaneous expenses in there, and this would fall under one of those two.
But if you need us to procure I guess, Mark, let you and I talk a little bit about this one after the meeting. If it's a Connex that we need for our purposes, I have no problem procuring it. But I think you guys are trying to buy it.
Either way, I mean, if we can get them and get them directly on site. So
yeah, I mean, the dollar amount's not big. It's not a question of the dollars. It makes
let me-
it makes sense to purchase them, and then because especially given that we have a runway ahead of us of the 5 other schools, so it seems like a valid step. I was just a little surprised that it wasn't part of the.
Let me understand it a little bit better, Jeff. I was not kind of looped in 100% into this one, so maybe Mark, you and I can speak about this one a little bit after, just so at least I understand it. It's not a problem.
So why don't we, from a timing perspective, though, I assume it's something that we need to get ASAP.
It's honestly, Jeff, so North Stratfield and Osborne, based on our workload and schedule, we are doing a lot of our work next week, and we'll be going at a slower pace second shift, through the rest of the spring until summer gets out. So it's definitely important, but I think we can all take, make sure we take a minute to vet it out and get the right setup for us over there, so the schools can clear it out. But just, it is urgent, but we don't need to, we can all talk about it. We have a little bit of time.
Okay, let's catch up, Tim, you and I and Mark, so at least I understand. By the way, Sal just texted me. He's on the call, but somehow he's unable to unmute, so just aware.
That's it. You're throwing me softball tomorrow. Okay. All right. Thank you. Good morning, Sal. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll defer any action on the Connex boxes till Friday then. Friday next. Oh, but are we meeting next Friday, or is next Friday?
yes,
We are,
yes,
right?
we have it on.
Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. All right, so we'll defer any action on that till next Friday.
Yes.
And that's everybody's comfortable with that time.
Just for next
Sorry.
Friday, FYI, Jeff, I have an appointment, early doctor's appointment in the morning. Tim will be online, obviously.
Yes, I'll be
but
on.
I will- Yeah,
Thank you.
so just an FYI. Sorry, go
Guys,
ahead.
also, I'm sending out an OAC invite. OAC is the owner architect contractor meeting. It's going to be Mondays at 1:00. I'm going to put Jeff, I have your email. I have Rodney, and then Joe, I don't believe I have your email. It's not on this invite either. It's not showing up. Can you just provide that to me? Do you have it now, or you can send it to me separately, or Mark can get it to me? I just want to make sure everyone's on it.
I can send it to you.
Okay. And then you'll see that
Thanks,
invite
Mark.
come out today.
And Jeff and Joe, this
Thank you.
is not mandatory. It's obviously feel free to attend. I mean, we will have a call-in
Yeah.
Teams.
Teams link, yeah.
It's not necessary. This is more like their work sessions with the design team and whatnot, and Mark Schweitzer and Colliers and Sal. So those are really what they are. We are meeting with you guys, so it's not really absolutely necessary for you. If you're tied up and you can't attend, it's no problem. It's just more of a making you guys aware in the event you feel you want to be part of the meeting, by all means, join us. We get into a lot of nitty-gritty details, and we don't want to waste too much of your time. So we recognize it's during the day too, so we just want to make sure that you're aware. But it's not absolutely necessary for you guys to attend. But I'll leave it up to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll continue to
Well,
give
and
you a
it'll
nice
also
update
be-
every Friday.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and due to quorum rules and all that, only one of you can attend at the
Right.
same time.
Right.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
We have to stay in opposite ends of the parking lot, Joe. Okay. All right. Anything else on new business from anyone?
The only thing I got or I have is background checks. We're still working through it. It is on previous projects, the background checks would go through the police department, and I guess they no longer do that. So we are working through a workaround for that.
Okay.
Just
Who
wanted
gets
to give you
background
the
checks?
heads up on-
Anybody's working on site goes through a background check?
Correct.
So all the subs have to submit their teams?
Correct. It's just like, because they're working in an occupied school, it's not necessary for tomorrow or next week. But once the kids come back onto the campus, just like if you would go to the school right now and want to walk around, they'd take your ID, badge you, run you through the program, and then that way they know who's in the school.
What are the schools doing now? Do you know? If I went into, like, to your point, if I went to a school right now as a parent, if you will, or a vendor,
Yep.
I would have to go through a background check. Is your statement? Yeah.
Yes.
So do you know what that process is
You
today for somebody from Cisco or somebody else who's going to show up on site for other work? I mean, I guess I'm asking if there's a process in place that we can just piggyback on.
I believe Fairfield has the Raptor system or something similar to that, where they take your license, they basically run you through the program that way, and it does a background check for what they need to background check for. Because most schools use that system, and it's actually a pretty slick system, because I had one vendor who had a common name that there was there was a warning on his name. Of course, there was a 40-year-old like Jim Flynn versus the 60-year-old Jim Flynn that was my vendor. So
okay. All right, so you're investigating options, but that's one of the options you're looking at is what the schools are doing today. So
correct.
Okay. All right. All right. Any other new business from anyone?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. And we can stop make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That passes unanimously.